Back in ye olden day of the video game crash of 1983, Nintendo saved the gaming industry with Mario in 1985. Mario was the king of 2D platformers, but Mario couldn't be the only one. He must have a rival. Sega then created Sonic the Hedgehog in 1991, who would be the answer to Mario's rival. Sonic was different from Mario, allowing himself to build speed and momentum running down slopes. Mario only had two different speeds, while Sonic has many, using acceleration and momentum to his advantage. As graphics got better, games turned into 3D. When Mario made the jump to 3D with Super Mario 64, it was a masterpiece, as well as many of the following 3D titles. However, for Sonic, his jump to 3D was a flop. The Sonic Adventure games were only either 33% good or 50% good, but let's not get technical. Other 3D Sonic games have Sonic move in 2.5D, so essentially you can only control him at either the X and Y axes or the Z and Y axes, and then all the gimmicks like the Werehog and the Wisps. No 3D Sonic game was ever great. They were all okay at best. Some parts were good, while others were bad. Sonic rules in 2D, and Sega has made an extremely smart decision. They hired some fans of Sonic who made amazing fan games and have a huge impact on the Sonic community. These people were little when they played Sonic. Now they're old enough to create Sonic, and that's what they did. Sega hired fans to create a 2D Sonic game that Sonic excels in for the fans. Thus, Sonic Mania. So now, let's talk about it. Sonic and his friends play very similarly to that of the Genesis days, but better. Sonic seems to jump a bit higher and run a bit faster. Sonic and his friends move so fluently, it's great. I also love the drop dash Sonic can perform that is new in the game. By holding the jump button in the air for about a second, rev up his spin dash in the air practically. When Sonic hits the ground, he will zoom! He'll just go flying across that ground. It's absolutely amazing and it's so much fun to use. This characteristic helps Sonic stand out from the other characters by showing he's all about speed. This move is also very helpful on speed runs. The elemental shields are also back and work as they should. Sadly, Knuckles and Tails can't use their power, but to be perfectly honest, it really doesn't matter. That just also makes Sonic a little bit more special than the two other characters. One problem I see is that when I want to do the drop dash, but I have enough rings to turn to Super Sonic, I accidentally turn into, Super Sonic instead of doing the drop dash. I mean, it's not really too much of a problem, but it's more of an inconvenience. I just want to talk about this real quick, but T. Lopes, you did a fantastic job recreating and remixing classic Sonic tunes, as well as creating new ones. I especially really like the Start of the Speedway remix. I love how it's slowed down. It's just so freaking good. No, all the tracks in Sonic Mania are so amazing. Even playing the Blue Sphere stages, which I'll get into later, is so damn catchy and sounds amazing. I love how the songs do sound similar to the originals, but have some modern instruments to make it different, like in Chemical Plant and Green Hill Zone. The music is fantastic. I love it. For the classic stages, Act 1 is very similar to the original stage. Act 2 is where a new gimmick comes in to change the pace. The acts follow suit to that of Sonic 3 and Knuckles. The second act has a remix song, different background, and like I mentioned, different gimmick to really make the second act feel very different, and it's awesome. No gimmick ever overstays its welcome, even in the brand new stages. Every stage gives you enough to play around with that you'll wish there was even more. Also, exploring around is great. I very much appreciate the level design. Just like in the classic Sonic games, you need to work your way up to the upper path, which is the faster path, but you don't always hold the right to move around the level. Some instances you have to make progress by moving left or even going up. Also, I love the new special stages that resemble Sonic CD's special stage. These stages look really awesome and are really fun to play through. I can say this is my favorite version of the special stages in classic Sonic games. I do appreciate how the Blue Sphere stages are back as bonus stages. However, now that I'm actually playing them again, they are quite annoying to go through. They're still fine, I'm not complaining about them. There are also 32 different blue sphere stages. That's crazy. And you don't have to perfect all of them to unlock any of the new extra stuff. You have to normally complete all of the blue sphere stages to unlock all of the extras, which is really nice. So just perfecting the stages is really useful for the PS4, Xbox One, and PC version of the game for achievements. And obviously Nintendo Switch doesn't have achievements, so you don't have to perfect all the stages, which is good and bad, I guess. Without spoiling the extra stuff you can unlock, the game really gives you that incentive to have multiple playthroughs. By completing the bonus stages, or really the blue sphere stages, you will unlock new and fun extra stuff to play with. There are other modes to play, such as time trial and the 2-player local mode called competition mode. It's essentially racing through a level, but 2 players are racing each other. And yes, in the Mania mode or regular story mode, you can play with Sonic and Tails, so you can have the 1.5 player mode. A second player can control Tails. I love the amount of detail the devs put into this game, giving it a ton of love. Not every game is perfect, but I do have a few nitpicks with Sonic Mania. If anything, these problems can either be ignored or Sega can create a patch for the game. Let's go over them. The first thing I like to address are the game overs and continues. Instead of starting the adventure over like in the classic games, when you game over it, you have to start the zone over. This seems fair until you see that you get a game over on the boss on Act 2. You're so close to moving on, all that progress has taken a step back just because you game over. Players shouldn't be punished by having to redo the zone all over again just because of a tough boss. This was very annoying to me on the last 2 zones on the game on my first playthrough. However, I have no actual solution on what Sega could do to change this. Restarting the act instead, well, I don't know really. It's just a little annoying to me personally, and yes, I will be able to deal with it like I said before. Next is a Homescreen Glitch present on the Switch version of the game. If you have the game on Switch, you know what I'm talking about. So what happens is, when you press the home button, the game delays taking you to the home screen. This problem occurs with this game only. A quick patch can fix this. Next on the short list of nitpicks are glitches. I see some glitches such as accidental clipping, especially when I get squished by an object that just spawned on screen. I encountered a glitch yesterday in a flying battery where I got stuck in the wall. I couldn't move and I had to restart the act. Again, a quick patch can fix this. And finally, the transitions in the game. I love how from Sonic 3 Knuckles, you saw a little cutscene that showed how the characters moved from one stage to another. Mania has this, but it's quite inconsistent. Some stages show a transition that makes sense, some just cut to the next stage with no context. A patch can fix this as well, but again, it really doesn't matter, just a little nitpicking. These problems don't hurt the game though. Sonic Mania is still enjoyable to play. Overall, I really enjoyed playing Sonic Mania and will continue to play it. I want some of my friends to even try out the competition mode with me. That'll be a lot of fun. The thing is, I don't want to give this game a score because scores don't really make sense. What do you want me to say? Oh, Sonic Mania is a 9 out of 10. What does that mean? It's 90% worth of your money? But instead, let's talk about should you get the game? Well, if you grew up with classic Sonic, then yes, obviously get Sonic Mania. But what if you were like me? You played classic Sonic games, but you can only get up to the second zone. I personally was never good at Sonic. The first and second zones were still enjoyable to play as a kid. If you did find that enjoyable, you'll like this game. But what if you never played classic Sonic before? What if you played the 3D Sonic games? Well, this will be a whole new experience for you. Let me explain. Think of classic Sonic from Generations. Now stop thinking about him because Mania is nothing like that, thankfully. If I were you, if you could get your hands on playing Sonic 3 and Knuckles, try that out before deciding to purchase Mania. Sure, you can play Sonic 1, 2, or CD, but I'd recommend Sonic 3 and Knuckles, since those two are the closest to Mania's resemblance. If a friend has Sonic Mania, then definitely try it out before you buy it. Sonic Mania is a game for you if you like fast platformers. That's it, plain and simple, but it never hurts to try it out. You never know if you could dig a style of game. Thanks for watching. Be on the lookout for some Sonic Mania videos on my channel. And once again, thank you all for tuning in, and make sure to have yourselves a good one.